Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Xenonauts 2, Early Access, Milestone 4. As today, we're mostly just waiting for that next payday. 5-6 days hence, not too much longer now. We're severely limited in what we can actually do until we get that next big cash infusion. Though, we do have a couple of things running. Our final cleaner project and the first of our 3 new medical advancements, both carefully timed to pop just before payday. Because, yeah, I think it's time. I've said it before, but I've been holding off on clearing these guys out for a while now because I was hoping that they might eventually toss us some more softball training missions. Stuff we could essentially harvest for easy experience and resources, but unfortunately at this point I just don't think that's going to happen. It's been 6-8 weeks. I think they've just gone completely dormant at this point. So yeah, with another payday right around the corner, it's honestly more profitable for us at this point to just go ahead and wipe them out. Bank that extra pay raise. Not to mention, of course, whatever other secret bonuses we unlock for actually completing this particular quest thread. That said, we'll push the clock up 3-4 days, just enough time to finish those 2 projects, and then we'll clean up the competition. And here we go. Autopsy, Cleaner Soldier. I must commend you, Commander. I've been waiting some time to unmask our mysterious foes on the autopsy table. One suspects the distinctive hazmat suit and rebreather worn by cleaner soldiers primarily serves to conceal the identity of the wearer. Cutting them away exposes a Kevlar vest atop the torso that offers reasonable protection from basic firearms. The body beneath appears outwardly indistinguishable from a normal human, yet a glance at the roof of the mouth reveals heavy scarring, which implies significant surgical intervention, the full extent of which is only revealed by bisecting the skull. Countless exotic metal implants are embedded within the brain, collectively replacing over a third of the tissue with electronics. I suspect that this represents some form of alien control device, but I would need access to a live cleaner specimen to know for sure. Which you've already had. Sadly, surgical removal does not appear feasible. The loss of so much brain matter means the implants themselves must be compensating in some manner. Removing them would almost certainly leave the patient in a vegetative state. While the identity of these soldiers remains unclear, there is thus little chance of them ever returning to their previous lives. Instead, they appear doomed to serve their extraterrestrial masters for the rest of their pitiful existence. Yeah, that's very sad, but also not at all surprising. I imagine a number of the other servitor races we've been fighting suffered a similar fate, and honestly, it's probably the fate that awaits humanity should we fail to fight off this invasion. Though, one small silver lining is that now that we know these guys can't be saved, I certainly feel less awkward about just wiping them out. Aside from perhaps the agents who are just tricked into working with the aliens as opposed to brainwashed or surgically altered into doing so. Also, I'll note, it really is just feeling like they should make the autopsies a prereq for the observation projects. I appreciate that they're giving you more flexibility on what order to approach projects in, but unless they're going to rewrite all of these reports, it is a bit jarring to have them written as if you are reading them in a specific order. Not a huge deal, but, as a lore hound, it is definitely something that jumps out at me. That's actually why I explicitly went out of my way to do the Mentarch autopsy before the observation, because despite the observation objectively offering a better reward, I knew that the reports were going to be written with the observation building off of what we learned from the autopsy. And I just prefer the story elements to flow, Though, again, they could just go back and revise the various reports. The question being, of course, would it actually be worth it? are most people going to care as much as I do? And there's our new medkits. Let's get a gander at these things. Advanced medkit. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. That is over a 50% discount on turn unit cost. Down from 25 to 12. That is fantastic. Though, now that I'm actually looking at our loadout here, I think I'm going to have to do some quick swap outs before we hit that base. Yeah, I hate to say it. Apologies to Indy and Jay, but we're going to need some slightly more mobile medics for this run. One sec. And we're back. Tweaked our loadouts a bit, and as you can see, I've tagged in Amartya and Bloody on support, and I've swapped Zarmal in for random on assault. Zarmal just had more accuracy, so we might as well hedge our bets. That's it. This may, of course, just end up being complete overkill. I'm just trying to anticipate inevitable twists. Oh, shoot. Okay, so small, that's got to be a scout. Yeah, we'll go ahead and knock that down. That'll be a nice trainer mission for Exo next time out. Or not. Wow, that thing booked it. Alright, well, we'll worry about that next time around. Hopefully we can catch it on the rebound. But for now, time to come clean. We've located the Cleaner headquarters. Eliminating all hostile units within the base will end the Cleaner threat once and for all. To those who are about to die, etc., etc. And right off the bat, we've got an open entryway with 3 doors. Actually reminds me of Atlas Base from the prologue. So I guess we'll approach it the same way we did back then. We'll split into 2 teams. Have each start clearing rooms, but stay close enough to each other to back each other up as needed. I'm not anticipating a lot of trouble with the cleaners. I mean, they're pretty basic trainer enemies, but I am fully expecting at least some degree of alien intervention here. Oh, right, and I guess Served is kind of an odd man out here. I guess... You know what, we'll put him here. We'll put him here between the 2 squads. That way he can theoretically lay down fire support in either direction as needed. Breach on left. Addy. Oh! Well, that is... Okay, that's a sentry gun, and it's aimed right at us. You've got to be kidding me. Really? The doorway's blocking it. Right, shoot, I should have anticipated that. You know what? Hang back. Yeah, if I send him running in there, he's just going to get shot apart. Flashbang out. Right. Sentries are immune to flashbangs. But it's not shooting at us yet. Let's do some careful trimming. Okay, okay. Cover cleared. Half its armor gone. Mark? And we're good. Lovely. Trim the rest. Soldier out, just leaves the two weaker operatives. Potshot? Nah, that's fair. Breach on right. CT. Soldier pinged. But otherwise, Hall seems clear. Aside from the obvious blind spots at either end. Can we pop this guy? Nice. Slightly less nice, but could have been worse. I mean, normally you'd obviously want to flashbang someone before you start taking pot shots at them, but I am anticipating a bit of a slog here. I'm trying to conserve. Though I suppose I could have done what some people have recommended, which is load up on a truly excessive amount of explosives and then just leave a bunch of extras back at spawn. It's not a bad idea. It is a valid tactic. I really just try to avoid any strategy that might drag things out excessively when I'm recording these episodes, you know? There's only so much finagling and padding your average audience is willing to put up with. And hold. Lots of doors. Also, glass? Right, yes, right there. Okay. I feel like going through the window is a bit of a pain. But some people just enjoy shattering expectations. Man, I would like live captures where possible. We essentially have no use for cleaner corpses at this point aside from sales fodder. And they're worth more live. Slightly awkward to actually say that out loud, but you know, you get the idea. And lock him down. Alright guys, have fun. And back to right. Soldier pinged, but not the one we already tagged. Angle's pretty awkward. We'll just hold. See if he comes any closer. Cover right. Well, other right. I mean, technically, I guess we're breaching center. And hold. More doors. General pain sounds. How you guys doing on left? Ah, you're fine. I'll leave you to it. Breach center. And there we go. That I can work with. Rude. Gotta make sure I actually monitored the shield health. Ammo, too. It's just, you know, it's tucked so small down in the bottom margin. I often forget to look. Nice. One of the downsides, I suppose, of this particular efficient UI setup, I suppose. Honestly, a common lament of the entire strategy and tactics genre in general, I think. Breach left. Oh. Where'd your friend go? It's fine. Should be an easy target. Oh, goddamn. Right after I said I need to watch ammo counts. But it's fine. We're good. And there's target number 2. Yeah, I don't blame him for walking away. Poor guy must have been fuming. Or, you know, maybe he just got exhausted. But either way, he's about to get smoked. Breach on center. That doesn't sound right. Breach middle. Ah, there's our bleeding guy. Tucked around the corner, just kind of loitering. Angle's way too awkward, no way we... Well, I could just push up on him. Yeah, that's fine. Target down. Let's push the rest out to back him up. I mean, obviously we're overextending a little here, but I feel like it's a pretty safe bet. Plus, you know, obviously, I have been struggling as of late with trying to find a good balance between caution and keeping things moving. I think that's just the curse of the classic XCOM, like, you know, once you get used to it, you get careless. Once you get careless, it comes back to bite you. And then you get shell-shocked and overcompensate. A vicious cycle. Oh, that is a super awkward angle. Let's push up on left. Where'd you get off to? Oh, there you are. Also, never mind, my mistake. Yeah, I'm gonna go. We'll refocus, right? Circle around later and take that thing out from behind. As for you guys... Oh, I really I really don't like having this unsecured hallway at our back. So you know what? We'll regroup. Regroup an entry. And we'll have everyone push right. Looks like that comes out at the corner anyway, so... We'll clear that side area, then peek from doorway. Oh, back on what I was saying before, too. Yeah, so looking back at my last couple of episodes, you know, ever since we did the jump up to Milestone 4, I suppose that is also something that, of course, has exacerbated how excessively cautious I've been as of late. Because that was a big rebalance patch as well. I had just gotten used to Milestone 3. Things were actually kind of easy. Only for them to then promptly pull the rug out. And while I did obviously get some experience with Milestone 4, it was only early months. It was like the first 2 months of gameplay, which was honestly still relatively forgiving. Only for month 3 to suddenly see all these escalations. The Androns, the Mantids. Our first real casualties. Okay, room seems clear. Let me get that other door real quick. Yeah. Tempting to peek, but not with 10 turn units. We'll just set ourselves up, prep for next round. I do wonder at our big twist once we hit their command room or whatever. Like, logically it would be Scions. But we've been seeing Scions since month 1, so it feels like it would be a bit of a letdown. Though, then again, I did deliberately drag my feet. In theory, we should have knocked these guys out end of month 2. So we're about twice as deep into the campaign than we theoretically should have been. By this particular stage. Hallway clear, though we do have open doors. We'll set the bulk of our guys up in the hallway here, watching these doors. With snipers and maybe one rifleman. Lagging behind to watch left. Double shields up front to guard our advance. All right. Hold. Soldier. Oh, careful. There we go. Wow, that could have gone way worse. Okay, well that wasn't bad at all. Let me just do a quick spot check on ammo here. I suppose on the bright side, if anyone does actually run dry, we can always loot one of these bodies. Oop, hi there. Oh. Right. Soldier, operative, and sentry angled off on the south hall. Shield's getting pretty dinged up there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Take him out. Out. Soldier out. Let's cover door and get that patched. Yeah, I should have flashbanged first. Oh. Gosh, dang it. Okay. Eddie, winged. Very minor. Alright, okay. Hold on, I'm clearly starting to spiral here. Let's just take stock of what we're doing here. Oh, shoot, right. Hold on. Bloody? God. Right. Art, yep, gonna need you over here. Sniper's hold. Served, reposition for caps. I've got to be careful here. I am taking these guys too lightly. Okay, hold. Nice, nice. That is why I wanted Addie on that door. Just wasn't expecting her to get popped in the back in passing. Oh, right, we can just do this. Plus that provides cover from the other side. Target capped. Let's trim the turret. Lovely. Turret out. There we go. And target out. Room cleared, but for the lone soldier far side, and no way he gets to us in a single turn. Though I do now notice we blasted out this door when we dropped the turret. You know what, let's have a Martia back up Addy. Okay. Breach. Target tucked in corner. Can't really blame him. Let's see if we can maybe land a pot shot or two. Nice. Not exactly huge damage, but still. That's got to be worth an accuracy bump. Oh, well, shit. That was not a trade in our favor. Sorry about that, Bloody. Really didn't think a cleaner was going to make that shot, but live and learn, I suppose. Hey, on the bright side, that's got to be worth a health bump? What are these guys using, anyway? That's definitely not a submachine gun. Oh, wow. Okay, that's why. These guys are rocking... The cleaners have upgraded. They're rocking their version of Gauss weapons. Yikes, wow. If I'd realized that, I would have taken them a whole lot more seriously. But on the bright side, hey, free upgrade. I'll take it. We'll have to make sure Bloody grabs one too. Plus maybe CT. His shield is getting pretty thin. Target on the move. Finally coming up on us. Oh, let me clear this side room real quick so we can grab that rifle for Bloody. Aha! We've got Scions. And a cleaner leader. Those guys are worth like 50k if we can take them alive. Also a sentry pointed right at us. Okay, let's just ease our way in. There we go. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is definitely their command room. We have a similar airlock-style entrance far side, plus another active cleaner soldier. So I think we're almost done here. I will say, though, slightly disappointed if it turns out the Scion is our big reveal. We've been encountering those guys since month 1. So having it turn out that they're behind the cleaners isn't exactly a Shyamalanian twist. I'm going to start bringing the shotties around. Just want to make sure they're not blocking our snipers. Yeah, I think my 3 big mistakes on this map thus far have been... Nope, that's not going to work. Yeah, I think my 3 big mistakes have been coming in with a grenade launcher instead of a machine gun. I thought it would be fine, but the doorways have been problematic. B, I've been too frugal with explosives. I have to keep reminding myself that they are not a finite resource. And C, I really need to get a handle on that reflex mechanic. Target out. Room presumably clear. So that just leaves command room and the cleaner soldier we just saw walking out left side airlock. Speaking of whom, hi there. Let me just get that door real quick. That's fine. He's too far away to breach the door and shoot us. So we'll just start pushing up, set up to take him next round. Yeah, we're going to have to come in on the other side. We don't want to walk right into the firing arc of a sentry gun. That'll also bring us in closer to that cleaner leader. I mean, 50 grand's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but it is certainly nothing to sneeze at. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Did we have a... We had an operative in the first room who escaped, right? He, like, fell back. Though I guess that might have actually been one of the ones we've killed since. I don't think we ever wounded him. I think we only stunned him with smoke. And then he ran. So yeah, he would just look like any other operative. Breach. Oh, and we've got two. Right. We haven't cleared the dorms over there yet. That's fair. Let's bring the snipers up. So we have to clear left side and we have to clear command. This is an extermination mission, so we can't have stragglers. We need a full, clean sweep. And breach. Nope, that's not going to work. Hey, there we go. Oh, right. Of course, now we don't have enough turn units. That's fine. That's fine. They're too far to move, breach, and shoot. We'll get him next turn. Hold. Peek. And pop. Oop. And there goes CT's shield. No injury, though, so yeah, that's fine. I mean, we knew that was bound to happen sooner or later, and we've got a spare rifle sitting right over there. Lovely, lovely. Now let's drop this bing bong, plus we've got one more in the wild here somewhere. Oh, wow, yeah, that man is very dead. And now we'll just lock down again until the other one sticks his head back out. Peek. We should lock down that door, keep the command room contained until we're ready to deal with it. Oh, no. Okay, that is not the guy we were looking for. I think that might actually be the guy we smoked out earlier. Wow, it is nice to get some closure, but that does still leave a cleaner soldier in the wild here somewhere. With the only possible place he could have gone being back into the command room. Or possibly in that one little narrow blind spot in the airlock. Okay, you know what? Let's, we'll kind of set on these doors. Keep them both guarded. We've got two wandering threats. We've got the operative right there, and we've got the soldier either in there with him or back in the command room with the Scion and leader. And sentry. There's a sentry in there too, can't forget that. Actually, was there a sentry in the lab? No, we blew it up. That's what the giant scorch mark is. Yeah. Right? Actually, there's a thought. The soldier might be circling all the way around. We should check front entrance, see if the doors are open. No, still sealed up, so he's got to be lab or command. All right, hold. Peek. Both ways. Barracks clear. Okay, yeah, that guy's trying to go around. The question being, is the soldier in there with them? Let's set up in dorm and hall. We'll cover both directions. Oh, shit. Hi, don't mind me. Oh, okay, there's... Oh, wow, we've got two soldiers. Noted. Bye. Also, two leaders. So that's a cool 100 grand if we can actually take those guys alive. Well, minus depreciation, so like 95k? maybe 90. Still a hefty chunk of change. Let's get those doors covered. No way the operative circles back fast enough this round, so we'll just focus airlock. In theory, that guy over there is still sucking fumes too. Though it's hard to say how much, since unfortunately there's no visible stun tracker. We'll get some stunners gathered up. I mean, it's an extra 5k. Why not? Also a human life, I suppose. So, you know, that has intrinsic value as well. Hi there. Also, hello to you. I hate you. CT dinged. Ooh, bleeding out like crazy. We gotta get that patched. But first, Aaron? Soldiers cleared. Lock it down. Oh, right. You're not actually on it. That's why. Yeah, that's fair. Really don't want to leave Aaron in the doorway. Nice. Okay. Aaron, tuck back in the corner. CT, let's get you patched. And breach. Where'd you go? Door's still closed, so... Oh! You know what? I do remember why we didn't push deeper on this side. Oh my goodness. All right. Hey, come on, man. He was right there. My brain is short-circuiting. But yeah, that I completely blanked on that Sentinel being there. But yeah, that was why that guy got away in the first place. Because we rounded the corner and caught a glimpse of the sentry through the window. I do remember that now. And then we just immediately turned around and went the other way. But in my defense, that was like 35 minutes ago at this point. We've been doing the room-to-room grind for quite a while now. But, you know, on the other hand, again, pretty much a guaranteed health bump. Sorry. Yeah, I kind of wanted to cap you, but instead you got capped. And we'll just blow this thing up with indirect, just to be on the extra super safe side. Sentry clear. Oh boy. Boy. So that would be big mistake number 4. Let's lock down command until we regroup. I mean, I do feel silly there, but at the same time, you know. No one's dead yet, so... So we're not doing too bad. Though I am struggling a bit on how we can possibly approach this last room in a way that lets us potentially cap multiple leaders. Giant room, plenty of cover. Sentry far side, Scion. Which, now that I think about it, could actually be a Scion officer. I mean, I don't think it is. Not with 20 armor and 60 health, but if it is, that would be a huge boon if we can cap one now. That would allow us to start the next stage of the main plot research, which is yet another monthly pay bump. Man, this would be so much easier if they gave you stuff like stun gas or stun grenades or actual long-range stun weapons. Which, of course, is exactly why they don't give you those, because that would make it too easy. Let's get a peek. Okay, sentry gun pinged, leader pinged. Too far for reliable takedown. Too risky to poke her head in. No visual on Scion or Leader 2. Too far for the launcher. Yeah, that's way too far out there. Hotshot? Alright, stop. We're lucky he didn't just whip around and shoot back. I hate to say it, but I think our most viable approach here is to just kind of hunker down in this room and then just kind of peek and pop every round. Snipe the sentry, and stun any target that otherwise strays close enough. Which I can't imagine makes for a very exciting firefight, but, you know, at the same time, I do also feel like they've really set us up here in a scenario where it's the only viable approach, at least if we want to preserve those high-value targets. Literally high-value targets. I mean, 100k, that's enough to get another hangar going. Or another interceptor for one of our satellite bases. Or even more if it does turn out that is, in fact, a Scion officer. Plus, of course, whatever else we've got going on in there. That giant swirly device certainly looks intriguing. But I'll tell you what, if it drags too much, I'll just highlight reel it. Honestly, this app's already running a bit long, so I might have to do that anyway if I want to keep it under an hour. Scion back in sight. Leader straying farther. Leader 2 still MIA. Let's see if we can smoke him out. He's only got 60 health, so that's maybe 4 rounds, 5? In fact, you know what? We can also just whittle him down a little. Oh, perfect. Okay, smoke out. Actually, I could just... Ooh. Oh, hi. Hello. Leader 3? Yeah, so slight change of plans. Come on, guys. I would push out to finish Leader 3, but we have an active shooter right behind him. But we can do this. Oh, shoot. Was he already suppressed? I must have missed that. See, that's why it would be nice to have a combat log, or perhaps some sort of status indicators above their heads. That is one of my main points of contention with this game. The lack of transparency on various things, the very deliberate removal of basic feedback on enemy status. Like, we wouldn't even be able to see the health and armor on our current difficulty if I hadn't explicitly gone out of my way to re-enable it. And I just don't find that to be like a kosher way to boost difficulty in a game, deliberately depriving the player of contextual tactical information. I don't necessarily need the enemy's full stats. I do think that, like, Baldur's Gate 3, for example, overdoes it by giving you full access to the enemy's stat spread. But I do feel like it's very important for a game, especially a tactical game. Oh shoot, did that guy die, or did he pass out? We didn't get the we didn't get a captured indicator. Well, we'll hope for the best there. Leader's moving around, but we should still have this one just inside. Let me pop him real quick. A little help here? Thank you, Mark. That's 50k in the bag. With at least 100k still on the field. And yeah, as far as the whole health thing, the whole enemy UI thing goes, I really don't want to belabor it. I'm not mad about it or anything, obviously. We were able to turn at least the basics back on in the option screen. But I do feel like it's a questionable move to begin with, because while initially I could certainly understand wanting to foster a certain sense of mystery about the foes you're facing, you know, obviously you wouldn't know much about these guys when you first encounter them. I do feel like it's very important to provide the player with basic info about an enemy's current status, especially in a more realistic game. You don't have to give them exact numbers like we're seeing right now. But there should be something like wounded, or severely wounded, or almost dead. A categorical indication, or at least some visual markers like bloodied clothes indicating that a target has been compromised, so that the player can effectively plan around it. And, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even be adverse to seeing exact numbers like we're seeing right now, but I do feel like that should be something the player would have to earn. And honestly, Xenonauts 2 is kind of uniquely set up to provide those sorts of rewards. The whole autopsy and observation system, for example, could easily be an in for giving more specific feedback on enemy status in the battlefield. You know, prior to researching a target, you could just get more general status indicators, or even just an alternate sprite showing the target, increasingly bloodied and beaten, the lower its health percentage is at. Or heck, maybe even have the player have to build some sort of Dragon Ball Z style scouter lens to get a more accurate read on enemies' vitals out in the field. Hey, nice. Sentry out. My main point is just that you have to give the player something, you know? If you deprive the player of basic information or basic game functionality, you're not really making it more difficult so much as you are more annoying. But, you know, that's just me. I'm sure there's plenty of other people with differing opinions. It's funny because, you know, I do even consider myself an old school gamer. I grew up on a lot of these games. Classic XCOM, classic Jagged Alliance, the old Gold Box TSR games. But at the same time, you know, I also recognize that a lot of the features those games were lacking, a lot of the basic functionality they were lacking, was more just because of limitations of software at the time, not because that's the best way to do it. As a tabletop gamer, both a war gamer and a long-running dungeon master, I also recognize how important it is for the player to have appropriate contextual feedback, both in response to their actions as well as to help them plan their actions. Oh, sign in the corner. Noted. So perhaps we will not be rushing. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done belaboring. Alright, I'll tell you what. I feel like you've got a good general idea of what I'm doing here, so we'll just skip ahead. Cue montage. Oh, goodness. Aren't you dinged? Lock him down. Alright, that one's definitely dead. It just bled out. Ooh, perfect. Flashbang out. Tag and bag. And later 2 out. 100 grand in the bank. Rushing on 3. Lock him down. And Leader 3, out. My goodness. Man, I'm going to have to cut so much footage out of this episode. That was like a solid half hour on that door. But hey, got the job done. And like I said, while I hate to bog things down like that, that was just too much cash on the table. We could not just pass that up. I am very curious about that Scion, though. One definitely bled out, but the other one's kind of a question mark. Let's see. Oh wow, 9 caps. That's not bad at all, especially with 0 losses. Plus 17 accelerated rifles, more than we even know what to do with. And sentry gun wreckage. What in the world do we do with that? We already know how to make sentries. Oh shoot, now I kind of wish I hadn't blown up that one in the lab. We bagged all 3 leaders. That's like 130, 140 grand after depreciation. And we did cap 1 Scion, but unfortunately it's just a normal. Not an officer or any other such fancy thing. But, you know, we had to try. And then aside from that, awards for valor all around. Very nice. Not to mention, yes, Bloody. Crimson Heart for Bloody, and a Golden Star for Rook. As well as slightly more injuries than I thought we picked up, but yeah, I do remember most of these. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Kinda dragged, but that was not bad at all. Ooh, new research. Cleaner device. Studying the device recovered from the cleaner headquarters may explain the disaster that befell XDEF, and perhaps help us avoid the same fate. Which nets yet more monthly funding. Very nice. Though sadly not for this particular paycheck. We'll have to get that banked for next time. Nicely done, Raiders. Come on back. Then we'll be at a good place to call it. But first, Cleaner Origins. I found more than a few surprises in the Cleaner Archives, Commander. The biggest being that humanity has apparently been aware of our alien foes for decades. Turns out we're not even the first organization established to monitor them. In 1962, the wreckage of an alien spacecraft was discovered embedded in a glacier by construction teams working on the very facility your soldiers just captured. The Soviets discovering the Americans were trying to ship the remains back to the States was the real cause of the Iceland incident that nearly sparked World War III. Instead, they jointly established XDEF, a clandestine organization tasked with studying the crashed UFO and preparing humanity's defenses against a possible invasion. With their existence classified at the highest level, a global network of front agencies was created so they could operate without raising suspicion. Looks like their research work was highly successful, and most of the extraordinary scientific progress in recent decades was actually built upon knowledge gleaned from fragments of extraterrestrial technology. In fact, this might explain why our scientists have found alien equipment so easy to reverse engineer. Unfortunately, they clearly proved less successful at defending our planet. The warped remnants of XDEF have now become the Cleaners, serving the very enemies they were intended to protect us against. It's not clear what happened to them, but whatever it was seems connected to the enormous high-tech device they had built in their main laboratory. I've no idea what it is. Every file related to the project is heavily encrypted. But the archives come to an abrupt end within a week of it being completed. I'll turn what I have over to our chief scientist. Perhaps he can get to the bottom of it. In the meantime, I've uploaded some of the interview transcripts I found in the XDEF archives to the Xenopedia. Maybe you'll find them interesting. I'm sure I will. Oh, and yet more unlocks. Nanotech Workshop and Quantum Lab. Well, that certainly sounds fancy. Let's give that a peek. Nanotech Workshop. Upgrades our existing workshops to increase efficiency. Right, and I'm guessing Quantum Lab does the same? Yes, just for our scientists and research projects. Well, that is fantastic. I mean, that's definitely stuff we want to get going. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I will take stock of where we currently stand, and we will pick up here next time. So fresh and so clean. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, CrowkingLoR, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.